Hi and welcome to this video tutorial. My name is Marty and this is an animation walkthrough of a four-legged sidewalk. Software used is Harmony 17, but this tutorial will translate to any other Harmony version, and hopefully other softwares too. Let's begin. We're going to start by selecting the side view of our character. As with any other walk cycles, we're going to start by creating contact poses for each of the legs. The back legs will be working diagonally in reflection to the front legs, so they will be mirroring the diagonal leg with a slight delay. The back right is very similar to the front left. But because I am going to try to delay the back legs by approximately 2 frames to the front legs, I'm trying to anticipate for that in the contact creation pose. As you can see, the back leg is being posed to mirror the front diagonal leg. It's quite important to remember how anatomically the animal's legs are bending, because back legs will be bending a different way than front legs. It's always very important to check your references. As I was animating this, I did have a reference on the side of a four-legged walk. Okay, now I'm happy with the contact poses. I will copy them over and create passing poses from tweening the keys that I just created. Aside from making sure that the legs are working correctly, you also need to remember the up and down on the four-legged body. It will not be an even up and down. There will be an offset between the front, which is the shoulders, and the back, which is the hips. The up should always be at the highest point of contact of the because we will have an offset on the front and the back legs, there should be an offset to the up and down on the shoulders and hips as well. So I'm pretty happy with this, and just doing a little bit of tweaking before I start in between more. Adding a very gentle head because I want this walk to feel stylized, so I don't want to create too much up and down on the head. I want it to feel like the head is very steady, like the cat is on a mission. So now I have made sure that there's a key set to every key and breakdown that I have created, spacing it out in between, make sure that every drawing has an assigned keyframe. And while I'm checking connections and making sure that the feet connection to the ground is working, I'm also being quite cautious about the lay on the back legs. So I'm trying to make sure that the offset is working against the front legs, because I don't want them to feel too mechanical, like they're walking at the same speed and at the same time. I want them to feel like they are offset by at least 2 frames. There's also a nice drag on the foot when it's lifting off the ground. It's being picked up. And then drag the feet to break down the movement, to make sure that the legs are distinguishable, which one is in the front and which one is in the back. Now I'm just making sure that the spacing is working before I in between it and break it down again. I want to make sure that the cat feels like they're picking up their claw and then placing it on the ground. So I want to have this up and down movement on the legs be visible as well, especially when they're passing. And now I will adjust there. Feel like there's a little bounce, but not too much. Now just making sure that the volumes of the legs are working, that it's not getting too thick or too thin in spaces. the line a little bit, create a nicer line. Making sure that the volume of the hips is working and it's not popping in animation. You can see that there's some mask popping at the top. We've got the connection of the tail, so I'll just try to fix that frame by frame. Also making sure that the ends of the legs are nicely visible and they go above the texture on the belly. So basically correction of little cosmetic details. I'm trying to focus on one element at a time and see if it works in a loop and that nothing is popping and snapping and breaking. So very frequently a walk like this can feel overwhelming because you have to track so many elements, but if you break it down into smaller parts, you can start with only focusing on the front legs at the beginning, working on the back legs after you're satisfied with the keys of the front, and then moving on to different elements like the hips and then the shoulders and the head. You don't necessarily always have to work everything at the same time. If it's starting to overwhelm, it's better to break. And now that I'm happy with this, I'm going to space it out and make it a little bit slower. I like the movement, but I want this cat to feel like it's a relaxed walk. So I have decided to slow it down by half. And now I'm just going to go by frame and fix the in-betweens that I got from breaking it down even further. Just making sure that the connections are working. And fiddling around with typing as well. You can see that there is a nice up and down arc on the back front leg. I want it to feel like that the cat is really lifting up the hip to move the leg forward. I want to apply the same notion to the front leg as well, the one that's closer to us. And to differentiate, it's not as important to have this motion visible in the back legs. So it kind of gives us the illusion of depth. Now I'm just fixing the masks so the outline of the legs is nicely visible in the body. And now I'm spacing it out even further because I was working on once for making it easier for myself flip between frames, but now I'm spacing it out to animate on tips. Also working on retiming the legs a little bit, skewing them a little into position and giving them slight overshoots when they kick up. also something wrong with the bottom here, so I'm just going frame by frame fixing it. And making sure that the up and down on the hips and on the shoulders work nicely. But that's pretty much it. I think I'm happy with how this one turned out. Now that the work has been created, let's go back and summarize our steps. We have started by creating 2 contact poses with opposing legs in contact with the floor. As you can see, they are opposing, so the front legs and the back legs are moving diagonally. Then when we were happy with those poses, we tweaked them and created passing poses. And we have stamped the tweened frames and created keyframes from them by adjusting them slightly to make sure that they work really nicely and that they create standalone nice passing poses. Then we have spaced them out and tweened them again. By tweening them again, we created more in-betweens, but now we're going to have to go back and adjust all of those in-betweens so they work nicely within the movement. As you can see, we started adding up and down movement on the hips and the shoulders as well, and started to create a little bit of a delay for the back legs, even more so than in the knees. So at this stage, I'm pretty happy with how the walk is functioning. I just decided that it's a little bit too fast and I want to slow it down. So I slowed it down by half and created even more in-betweens. And at this stage, when I was happy with how the in-betweens were working, I went back and I adjusted the hips, the shoulders, the tail, the head, and made sure that every element was working as a whole. So this is how it looks like in real time. Adding a little bit of a delay and overshoot on the paws, especially the back paws, as they're lifting off the ground, has added a little bit of spice to this walk. I like how it came out. And this is it. I hope you found this video insightful and you were able to take something out of it to make your animation better. Thanks for watching, and until next time.